she still can't even stand.
She's so wobbly.
Sean Whaley is furious.
She's upset. But 100%.
Oh, welcome in everybody to a brand new edition of AKP episode 229. Today is Friday, May the 15th. The year is 2026. Okay, we got a huge weekend of fights this weekend. How we doing?
It don't stop. The train does not stop. The combat sports train is at an all-time high, and Netflix took the chance. You know, they're getting their first mixed martial arts cards. Who else? Jake Paul, right, running the show at MVP. But
Nikita Bazarian also came out and said this probably won't be their only one. Like they're gonna have more. Yeah.
I hope not. Ariel was out there. You know, he was kind of doing the presser. I don't know if you saw. You know,
bits and pieces.
It's you know, to get another option for these fighters. You know, there's a lot 100%. Of them, and the more promotions there are, the more places there to go for them. So
and more money too for the fighters.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of, you know, I don't know if you saw ONE FC, they had a triple event. 2 already happened. The Inner Circle led off. We had a new heavyweight champion, Moatoli Analake. He got his revenge against Rogue Rug. I don't know if you saw that. Friday Fights 154 was right after that. And then tonight they're going to do one fight night 43. So they got a triple header. Also tonight, our friends over at LFA have a vacant featherweight title fight for LFA 232. Nice. There's Octagon 88 tomorrow afternoon alongside Paulie Malignaggi. Another bare knuckle main event, a BKB 54 Mayhem in Manchester. You know, we love
across the pond.
And, yeah, last but not least, Top Rank Boxing. You know, the events that we're not covering.
I saw that. Did you see that Keyshawn almost missed weight?
Yes, but the fight is still on.
No, so he made weight the second time, but this has been a problem. 2 of his last 3 fights, if he didn't have, he would have missed weight. I think 140 is just too much now.
I was going to say it's probably time, and they've said that before, for him to kind of move up.
He needs to go up.
Yeah,
he needs to go up.
Fight up, yeah. And I kind of edge him, you know, against Nahir Albright and Unfinished Business. You know, they got a little bit of bad blood. Yeah, a lot of bad blood last weekend and going into this weekend. So, I mean, you know, a lot to talk about.
Isn't there a PLE called Bad Blood? Or no?
I think, yeah, or there was.
There was, like there was.
Like the old throwback cards.
Other than that, I did see some of the press conference for the MVP card on Netflix. I saw Nate Diaz is too funny, like he doesn't even care. Yeah, it was good to see everyone make weight as well. It was good to see that. Yeah, professional. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be a really big event tomorrow night, and I'm actually really excited to see what it is. I know I came out here when it was announced and said I'm really not that excited for Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano, but you know, at the end of the day, I'm trying to see them fight, and you know, this has been a battle in the making for years now. They never had the opportunity, 15 plus years.
Yeah, I went on thinking that they had fought.
Yeah, so. I think we deserve to see it. Unfortunately, it wasn't in their prime, but regardless, we're getting it. They're gonna get paid.
It's their second prime. It's kind of like all their second primes when you think about it, because they've all kind of grown their own personal stardom. Francis Ngannou.
I was gonna say Francis.
They have their own personal stardom here, so I feel like you could say it's like a two, you know, like I said, a prime 2.
Yeah, I think the main event for me specifically, has to be Mike Perry versus Nathaniel Diaz. And I'm interested to see Francis, but he's just a huge favorite. We'll get into the odds and everything a little later, but 14-1 is insane. And we'll see. But yeah, I did see some bits and bobs. There was no like real going back and forth at it. We also have UFC Vegas 117. Arnold Allen. I am very interested to see this fight at featherweight against Mikel Costa. That
surging Mel Costa.
That's a good fight. I mean, he's a short favorite, Arnold Allen. We'll see. We got Duho Choi. We got Daniel Santos and the chief support, Malcolm Wellmaker versus Juan Diaz.
These matchups, like sleeper matchups, in my opinion. I feel 100%. Like they can actually turn out good events, good results.
We will see, but wait, is it true? Shauna Bannon is fighting. Is she the first fight of the card?
Yeah.
But isn't she pregnant?
No, I think that was a long time ago.
Oh, okay. Because I saw your post and I said, and then I'm looking at the card and I'm like, She's fucking crazy if she's
No,
pregnant.
the commission would not allow that.
Oh my god. Okay. Fucking
Crazy.
out of my mind.
I mean, UFC 328 had us going out of our mind, literally crazy.
We'll start there. UFC 328 at The Rock. First off, mad that they bumped this so many fucking times. I thought you guys hated each other. Let's fucking kill each other.
Put this hugging and tapping up shit.
And credit Sean Strickland, man. What a performance. 48-47 times 2, 47-48. He wins via split decision. And before we get into the fight, his resume is insane at this point. Brandon Allen, Nasruddin Imavov, Israel Adesanya, Paulo Costa, Anthony fucking Hernandez, and Khamzat Chimaev. I mean, he might be a Hall of Famer. Forget his antics. Look at that resume.
Yeah. I mean, going up to Kamaru, how good Kamaru Usman is, because he was undefeated at welterweight until he came across, former champ there. I mean, and have the two biggest underdog title fight wins in history.
Izzy and now Chimaev.
Prime Khamzat, right? We have a lot of people. The reason why he was just such a big, heavy favorite is we were still fearful of him as being the boogeyman, right? Like this was the Khamzat Chimaev in his prime. And just like you mentioned, is he in his prime? So you went up against the best striker in the division, or regarding maybe history of the division, if you want to be specific, and
modern day history at least.
And then wrestler. And I think you can argue, how effective Khamzat's wrestling was and has been throughout his career. He's had his moments where he may have looked a little human, but you got to go into this and say that Sean made him look the most human, exposed him for all the dominance that Khamzat's had. And, a lot of people I've heard out there is like, oh, you got to, beat the fighter. You got to beat the champ. I honestly say he did beat him. He exposed him in a lot of ways. He countered the wrestling. He was in dominant positions in wrestling exchanges. That's something that no one has ever done to Khamzat Chimaev. And I think that alone can actually propel him to the top. And then he outstruck him.
Yeah.
And that, I think, was just the cherry on the top. And Sean Strickland deserved that win.
Well, credit to you. You did pick them. You answered my question because that was going to be my next question. How did you score the fight? Because I actually scored it for Khamzat. I scored him 1-2. No,
the fifth round could have gone either way.
No, it was 1, 3, and 4. I actually gave the fifth and the second to
gave the third.
Sean. Yeah, I gave the third and the fourth to Khamzat.
Okay, yeah, that's why I had 2, 3, and 5 for Sean. Going into the fifth round, it was 2-2 in my book, and I think Sean did enough to edge out in the fifth round.
I mean, you got to give him credit. He stayed the first round. I don't know if it was a 10-8, but we thought
that was going to be for the rest of the fight.
Yeah, and then once he stopped and he kept it on the feet, he definitely had the striking advantage. I guess I didn't understand Khamzat's game plan, honestly.
Not constantly going down, but I think it was, like I said, it was Sean Strickland's game.
He was also gassed.
Yeah, and but he, like I said, the striking. At the end of the day, there was a lot of hidden, and that's the thing with Sean's game. There's a lot of strikes that you don't necessarily see, but the fighters know when they get in there, whether it's hard sparring with him or in an actual fight. I think there's shots that register to them, and you don't think that Sean Strickland has power, but he has enough, and then there's volume that follows up. So, you look at it how you could see the fighter. A lot of people I can understand why and how you scored it to Khamzat, because he was landing a bigger shot and it was more eventful at the end of the day. These kind of big looping shots, they had more of a visual effect. I could say damage was kind of even par, but like I said, there was a lot of dirty boxing, a lot of close exchanges, and a lot of shots that Sean landed that I think may have won him the exchanges. My key thing is how biased I am towards grapplers. The fact that, and you got to say, Sean Strickland out-grappled Khamzat Chimaev, and that's a fact.
I don't know. I don't know. I just don't understand how a guy who isn't going forward and just jabs your way to a title. I don't like that. I don't think that is impressive. I don't think that is a way to fight. I don't like him apologizing afterwards, saying this is all a shtick and I'm selling it. Stand on business. If you want to say all this shit, stand on it. Be that guy who pushes the boundaries. And then you go out there and you say, I'm going to fucking kill you. I'm going to do this. And then you jab for 5 rounds. I think that's whack. I don't think he deserves
goes both ways.
No, but see the contrary, which I disagree. And I'm going to push back on is Hamzat actually tried to knock him out and tried to hurt him and tried to do everything.
But talking the big game and missing weight, I think we all can agree.
He didn't miss weight. I don't agree with that. He made weight.
Well, he supposedly made weight according to the commission, but there was definitely controversy there. We cannot deny that.
Allegedly.
Yes. Let's get sued, bro. Come on. And then kicking him in the nuts during the press conference. All the antics itself, and I think you could say the same for the opposite.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think you can't jab yourself to a victory.
You really think that, though? You don't think there was 100%. Exchange where Sean was advancing and landing shots?
No, not really. No.
Like I said, especially after that with the guard pull, that did not register a takedown. And I think a lot of us, and I was watching streams where fighters were saying, oh, that's a takedown. And he didn't get credited for that. But he didn't wind up with that. He did have top control for a good while.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah. I don't know. I wasn't a fan.
It was enough in the odds of 3 judges. Well, 2.
2. Yeah. So wasn't a big fan of it. And I honestly thought that was kind of like the low blow of the night because we got one of the best flyweights in the chief support fight.
That was such a good fight, bro.
Holy shit. I know we got knocked out late in the 5th round, but Taisuro Taira is a beast.
Heart of a warrior, heart of a samurai.
And he did not lose stock. He'll be back. He's very young. I do think the plans to go to the Tokyo Dome and to Japan now are kind of on hold. But
why can't we still have an event out there?
We don't have a champion.
I think you could still put a good fight out there and people will go, especially Japanese fights. You can get Manel Kape and Kyoji Horiguchi, for example, would probably sell out the arena themselves, but then you could get Tatsuro Taira on there. We can get a card in the beginning of the summer months. Beginning of the fall months after summer. So I don't see why we couldn't put some other Japanese stars. We got a couple. There's Nakamura. There's I bet you guys out there that sold pretty well as well. There's like Yuri could probably host that card. He fought in Risen for all those years going undefeated. So yeah, there's plenty of options, I would think, for us to be still able to have a card, but I can understand not having a champion. I guess puts a dent in it. You wanted to have it as like a numbered event, maybe, right? Last time we were in like China, for example, we're going to be next week. It's just a fight night, right? So we've only had fight night. So I guess to your point, you want a champion to make it a numbered event.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think that you could do that big of a jump to Japan and not have a champion there. It's the same thing with Spain.
Sure.
How they want to have a champion there before they go. It'd just be like a fight night. You want to go all the way to Japan for a fight night. You want to give them a number.
Yeah.
So, but you got to give credit to Joshua Van. He is a beast. After that first round where he kind of lost, the momentum really changed, and I think Taisuro Taira eventually gassed out late in the fight, right?
More like I think a little bit of the damage too, though. Like, he got dropped second, right? It was the second round. We got dropped pretty bad. It's the head on the center line. You see it with like Ronda, for example, the inability to move the head. And with Van, that's just a recipe for disaster. And again, Taira had really good exchanges of grappling and bouts of that and durations, but Van actually had some situations where he was doing good grappling too. So I was pretty surprised to see that. That just grows to show that sometimes fighters become really much better when they become champion. And I think I'm seeing that with Josh Van, only 24 years of age. He's like the second youngest champion ever. I really see him as like, if he's doing this to guys at this weight class at 24 years of age, he's not even like in his prime yet, really. Like he's like an unfinished product. So we have yet to see maybe the best version of Josh Van, in my opinion.
Yeah. And people got to work on, I guess I'm so used to the WWE that he needs to learn how to cut a promo. Can't call out fucking he goes, well, if he goes, Pantoja, if you're ready, you could want it. If you want it. What do you mean? And Pantoja's like,
no, you don't get it, bro. He's Texas boy, bro. You saw him and Big Tape in the back. We're talking how they're like chopping it up with one another, like kind of cracking at each other.
Pantoja goes,
what?
What do you mean? Like, obviously I'm fucking next. I was watching it and he goes, if you want it. And I go,
yeah, oh, no, because yes, I understood it though. Cause I know, from following like, that Mexican OT and like, Paul Wall, like, the Houston Central rappers are more like going into the broader Texas. They're like that, bro. They grow up in in a way where they're, like I said, they poke fun at each other and they had a good time. And I think it was just sort of
it didn't land.
It landed with me because, like I said, it was like if you want, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I don't know. I feel like even a lot of people were all looking around who I guess didn't get that humor. We're like, the fuck is he talking about? I was a little stunned. I was like, yo, this guy's crazy.
His confidence is growing, his skills are growing.
Yeah.
I'm a big
one
Josh.
Of the youngest champ ever, too, right? Not ever, but in this time.
Second to John Jones.
Yeah. Another one where, you know, I do want to head back to the main event real quick. He did say the only thing he wants is a rematch for Sean Strickland. Do you want to see him at light heavyweight? Because I actually want to see the rematch before he moves up.
I would love that. Are we going to have the issue? Is there going to be weight issues?
I don't know. Do you want to see him at lightweight or do you want to see the rematch?
I was hoping, in a sense, with the future ticket, that maybe he'd still be champ here. And what if this fight were to happen? You think it would happen within 2026?
Yeah, we're only in May. We're only in like the second,
like a November, December card. They would fight again.
Yeah, maybe.
So if we have a chance to get that ticket right, we cash with Sean Strickland winning now. We still got a future out then. If we can get a rematch, I'm all for it.
December, we have to put all of it on Chimaev.
I mean, they could do that's the thing. He said, let's fight Abu Dhabi, and that would be in October. Normally is when they do that card. Mm-hmm. Sean said he's not willing to do that. So, I mean, he is the champ now, and it's interesting to see how both parties operated as champion. So, like I said, for that future champ, I don't mind, but I think it'd be interesting at light heavyweight. I think the main thing we've seen with fighters, if they're struggling to make that weight, it might be best to just move up, be more natural.
Another fight that I scored for the opposite guy, Waldo Cortez Acosta won that fight. I thought he won round 2 and 3. All credit to Volkov. I'm a big Volkov fan. I've backed him multiple times on the show, but I just didn't think I thought he won the first round, and that was it.
Yep, that's exactly what I thought. And I was like, damn, they're going to take away from Costa. I know it. And it was kind of like retribution for what happened with Volkov and Gon. Remember that?
They made it up because he
made up
Gon,
to make up for that. 100%. We see right through it.
It's just unfortunate that like someone else, you got to fall on someone else's sword now because of another man or woman's fuck up.
Yeah.
So, but overall, you thought the fight was good. I thought even though he lost, I didn't think he lost a lot of stock. Waldo Cortez Acosta.
No, right? And he was like, remember, he was the one pushing for the KO at the close of the rounds. Like, maybe you could see it as a judge. Like, it was a little too late. Maybe Volkov was, landing. There's a couple more shots unanswered to the body and to the leg. But like you're talking about in the main event, it's depending on what the judges are seeing and what kind of fight you like. You could see some sort of bias there if they're scoring it for a point fighter than someone that's actually doing damage. So, are
we going to get? Is Volkov on the shelf now? Like, is he next?
I don't know, man. It's interesting. It's they're the biggest thing I also seen is that we're getting these champions that are becoming champs, and everyone's on the shelf from injuries too. So it's like, you know what, we're gonna have the next matchup for a guy who's not even there. Yeah, you gotta shelf Volkov in the moment. I don't know what necessarily to do with him.
True or false? Tom Aspinall fights before the end of the year.
False.
I say true.
Okay, he's gonna fight. Okay.
He's cleared the practice.
Like you said, 6 months. We got 6 more months. We could get a fight for.
He's gonna fight the winner of the Freedom 250 card, right? So you figure December, the latest. You got what?
Pereira would love to do a year cap of the Freedom 250 card, and then in the NYC card.
Exactly. In November, we could get that here, and Tom Aspinall would love to fight at the Mecca.
But we're supposed to get a John Jones and Tom in that one a couple of years back, and now
that's never going to happen.
We can get Alex Pereira though in Tom.
Exactly.
Aspinall. Yeah,
we could get that. So I hopefully he does fight. But we'll see. But I agree. I do think they shelve Volkov for right now. Weird line movement between Sean Brady and Joaquin Buckley, but Oddsmakers had it right originally because Sean Brady, he went out there and just dominated.
So there was a lot of money on Buckley?
I mean, to move the line that much within an hour, it's not just like $100 or $200. It's several $1,000s to move a line like that.
Yeah, that's a big whale.
So I don't know what happened, but they were wrong. I was wrong. We all were wrong. Yeah. Sean Brady, what a bounce back performance. That's what he needed.
Yeah. He goes to show how dominant he can be, right? I mean, he gets there, he gives you a couple 10-8 rounds, and Joaquin Buckley had no answer to this fight. Even in the beginning, like it was like from the start, you could see he was timid in there to get taken down, so couldn't open up his striking, and just a bad stylistic matchup for Joaquin Buckley. He can't go against wrestlers, I think, in the near future, because now you're seeing how to beat him, right?
Yeah,
so Sean Brady, stacking the wins, and I mean he's a top 5 welterweight as well.
Yeah, 100%. One thing I do disagree with him saying is it was a fluke against him and Michael Morales. I don't know if it was a fluke.
Morales is like 230 right now, walking around.
He's
That's
massive
big
man.
boy,
I don't know
dude.
how he makes welterweight.
That's what I'm saying. I think Sean maybe 190, maybe 200 on a big eating day. But yeah, you got Morales just 30 pounds and about 6 inches taller than you in the same weight class. Like that, maybe not.
Unfortunately, King Green didn't get a bonus, but he will get his custom shorts next fight. The Dana White did promise him that.
What a cop out, bro.
I mean,
I don't like that.
He
gets the shorts, but why don't you also take care of, bro? You know,
he does knock out Lil Heathen. No, submits him actually.
Yeah, I think if you had a submission for King Green, you would have made some money.
Time to put him down, Jeremy.
No, just not UFC level. Like, think about it. It was what we said going into the fight. Jeremy Stephens has kind of bounced around organizations, found success elsewhere. All this time, UFC, King Green has stayed there, knocking off other vets, other guys that have made careers out of the UFC, and a lot of up-and-comers that try to make their name off of a guy like Green or Jeremy Stephens. So tried and tested. I think when you match and fight that type of level, we saw King Green going to win this fight. I just went with the later finish. Maybe would have had more exciting of a fight, but it was an exciting, like 60 minutes. So that's submission happened in like 30 minutes.
3 minutes, 4 minutes in. Shout out you. You hit the Ozzy Diaz and a Tibe Gutierrez to start round 2 at plus money. He was. I didn't think he was competitive, but he was tough enough to get to round 2, and then he ultimately gets knocked out.
Yeah, we should have just compounded it with a Gautier second round KO TKO. We could have saw that coming. And I think he's just scary. And people are expecting him to go out there and just, light the canvas on fire. But I think, he's a little reserved now. He's showing that he can be a well-rounded fighter, Tebe Gautier. The future might be bright for that dude.
Excuse me. Hand up. Holy smokes. I was so wrong about this. And I might be wrong about Joel Alvarez. But Yourself Almavov.
Weight bully for Joel Alvarez. He was beating people at 155 as a big dude, right? Now he goes up. Almavov's a smaller guy and just torches him.
And one of the cleanest doubles into a submission I've ever.
It was like a body drag into an arm triangle, right?
I don't know what it was.
I
was watching it with Ant, and we always joke around like who could defend a deep double. When I tell you how smooth that was, I was like, I stood up and clapped. I was like, yo, that was amazing.
No matter how good your takedown defense is, you're probably not stopping on a shot.
And
deep double.
Undefeated. He's a force. I know, small sample size, only 2 fights in the UFC, but this man is a problem.
Don't let that Jason Jackson loss fool you. That was just Jason Jackson firing also what he could be capable of. Like literally. Like, don't sleep on how good the ass kicking machine is. That one performance for Amasov doesn't show how good of a fighter he actually is. He's a champion now for years.
100%. And I think Joel Alvarez has to take a step back and really work on some things. His striking is there because when he was jabbing and making contact, he was hitting him. And he likes the submissions, you know that. And he's just with a guy like Amasov, you don't want to mess around there. So you probably would have been better off on the feet, but how long are you able to keep it there? It shows not so much. He's a tweener guy, man. I think Joel Alvarez would have been great if there's like a 165-pound division. 170 might actually be maybe a tad big for him. And then 155, now it seems it's going to be hard for him to make. So he could be just the epitome of what a tweener would be. Grant fucking Dawson gets the submission in round
under
3.
2.5. I saw a finish here. I think Rebecca could, always land a shot.
He was live. He was stunning, Grant.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I mean. It's just Grant had the dog in him, bro. He really does. And he does this all the time. It's like he's going to drag the fight and get into his world. When it's there, he's inevitable. But you see, he can get cracked. The chin has been exposed from time to time.
A10 fucking Jim Miller,
bro, I was jumping up and down when you said that, bro.
When that happened, I almost blacked out. I was screaming, I was screaming. I was so happy for Jim Miller to go out there and submit this man at the age of 40. And I love Jared Gordon. Yes. But, man, I love Jim Miller more for what he's done for this state, for what he's done for his family. He's a blue-collar, hardworking guy. He goes out there and provides for his family every fucking day.
He does it in honor of his son.
Oh, my. And then the speech afterwards, how his son had cancer and beat it. I was like, fuck yeah, this man is the best to ever fucking do it. I don't care. He's a Hall of Famer. And Dana White did come out and say he has rewarded him with a new 5-fight deal. He's 42. Does he make 400? That's a ways to go.
Yes, I know. We got to root for it. We got to put all our energy, like Goku, lend me your energy. We're all lending Jim Miller our energy so he can make it to UFC 400. I want to do that. That puts him over the top of my book of making the Hall of Fame. There's no question now.
Isn't he a Hall of Famer already?
He's already a Hall of Famer in my eyes. And you saw DC coming around, and that's what my point is. If he makes it to 400, the longevity alone, there's not many men built like Jim Miller.
No.
He cashed us money line via submission. This was an all-time win for him.
13-1. Shout out you via submission, baby.
All in on Jim Miller. America, baby.
I hit him on the money line. Oh, plus 5.5 at -110 was the easiest bet I've ever made in my life. I should have put all my savings on fucking Jim Miller responsibly.
Yes.
What was I gonna say? I was just so fucking happy. I was elated for him. I had to sit down because I was so fucking lightheaded, like screaming. I was screaming, and you heard the place, and I know it was the prelims, but everyone went crazy for Jim Miller. His family was in the arena for him. There's no better guy than Jim Miller, I swear. And we also hit there with plus 150 Roman Kopylov, baby.
Money line and the over we hit on the rounds, which they're giving dog price. I know these two skilled strikers, but I mean, come on now. We see a lot of decisions on there. We know what to see.
Hey, what's good with William Gomez's wife going out there and attacking
fans? That's crazy. Yeah. But Pat Sabatini's on a roll, man. Shout out to you. Kudos to you picking him on the decision, man.
Yeah, we hit there. Your boy from Russia, do not know how to pronounce his name.
Sarkayev.
Yeah,
I mean, that was a layup fight, bro. Let's be real.
Know. But I'm surprised it took round 3 to finally get the submission.
Well, that's my point. When he's going to fight someone tough, I don't see him making it past the first round. Let's be real.
I don't either, because it's all the first round. And if you could weather the storm, there's opportunities to beat this guy.
And I think there's something too. You look at the training camp, because he's training with Hamzat, right? They looked a little gassed. There's 100%. Maybe something going on there where they're not pushing each other enough. You can't have yes men in the room. It's iron that sharpens iron.
Yeah, 100%. So overall performance in the night does go to Yusuf Avalov. Obviously, Jim Miller gets a performance. And then fight of the night was the Chief Support. Kid, how did you do overall?
Oh, 8-4, man. We had a big bounce back. We looked great for UFC 328. And, I mean, a lot of shocks everywhere. We are Van. That's my boy. You know, I had a ticket out from – I think that matchup, is going to be, honestly, one of the best in flyweight history. He in the rematch against Pantoja.
I had a profitable night, 5-4. We hit on both overs for the main event and the Chief Support. Don't get there with Waldo or Joaquin Buckley. Yeah. We don't get there with Joel Alvarez either. But outside of that, we hit on Jim Miller plus 225. We hit on Roman Kopylov plus 150. We hit on Sabatini as well. So yes, very good night. Good night in the totals as well. But
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, cannot wait. And yeah, those were the bonuses as well. By the way, did you see Daniel Dubois and Fabio Wardley fight? Holy shit.
Yo, Wardley drops him, right? And I was
60 seconds.
I was like, oh my God, it's gonna be.
And then he dropped him again in the third.
Bro, and I was like, bro, this is a bad, like I said, I was like visions of what happened to Bob before getting dropped, right? But from the experience prior of that happening to him, he seemed to recover well. And boom, he absolutely put it to Fabio Wardley. I've not seen anybody do that.
He got put down with that right, literally 60 seconds, and then again in the third round. But ultimately, Daniel Dubois comes back and and knocks him out. Yeah. I think in the 11th round. And he becomes a 2-time heavyweight world champion. And holy smokes, it was a rush to fight. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it was. Yeah, right away. And then, like you said, right up until the end, you were just kind of on the edge of your seat throughout. So that's something that we need for boxing.
What's next for Daniel Dubois at this point, though?
Well, next week, don't we have the pyramids, right?
Yeah,
Clash,
it is next week.
Clash and Giza, right?
But don't we have Fury's gonna take on AJ? That's
but isn't there a buffer fight as well before then?
Yeah, I hate these buffer fights, but it's to make money, I guess.
Something about Max Kellerman coming out saying that if these fighters have multiple fights kind of booked up, that it actually is good. Like it's for the fighter, it can kind of keep them. Moses Atama, shout out Phil.
Phil, good call. I didn't even think of Moses Atama.
Call. Yeah.
That's a hell of a fight.
A hell of a fight.
But yeah. If Moses Atama catches him, you're going to sleep.
Yeah, that'd be a good one. It's just about who's willing to fight him. We haven't seen a lot of guys.
No one wants to fight Moses Atama. That's the problem. Yep. He's the boogeyman of boxing.
And he's young.
Stud, everything. So yeah, overall, really good weekend. I didn't get there though. We did take Fabio Wardley, and honestly, it was looking good. 60 seconds in,
I was like,
he's gonna knock him out.
Nope. Not so fast.
Daniel Dubois, what a fucking comeback. Honestly, I didn't even give a fuck about my ticket at that point. I was just like, what a fight this was. So yeah, shout out the boys. They did get it busted up. We got some good fight. Keyshawn Davis is fighting this weekend. We got some good boxing.
Boxing's still putting on. It's not, not just Zuffa, not just we got Top Rank. We got come on.
In your humble opinion, is Zuffa boxing good for boxing overall?
Well, we got to see like Julian Hammer Hands Rodriguez get his fight. A lot of people are trying to fight him. I think it's good for some guys like maybe Moses Atama. I hate to say it. I know Frank Warren or anyone's going to lose him. They're not going to want to do that. But
speaking of Frank Warren, he did come out, and obviously him and Eddie and all the top guys, they think Zuffa boxing is actually bad for boxing.
Yeah, and I can see because it probably needs two different models. It probably does, but they're going to approach it with that UFC model and see if we can get the guys who are getting fighters their fights. And yeah, I could agree with that. Yeah, and anytime more promotions are available for any fight, mixed martial arts included, kickboxing. Anything of the sort, I think it's better for the sport itself, for the health of combat sports.
I would agree. Yeah. All right, boys, let's get to some picks. But before we do that, a quick word from our sponsor, brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. There's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks. It's just a kick, just like how we like our lives, whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys or an elderberry watching UFC Vegas 117. It doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with our Artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at Axe Kick Picks and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. Okay, let's get on over to the world famous Meta Apex for UFC Vegas 117. Prelims go off at 5. Main card goes off at 8, actually, not 9 this weekend, 8. And we will start in the women's strawweight with Shannon Bannon and Nicole Caleri.
Yeah, you got that right. Mama B. And getting dog price plus 245. Larry favorite. I understand why mine is 225 here. If I'm gonna play that minus 225, might as well take an over here, over 2.5 rounds at minus 225, just in case of Shanna Bennett steals one. But we cashed with her in the past with the submission finish, one of the few on that card, if you remember. Remember, she had one of the lone finishes there.
Yeah.
So I was kind of surprised, but we cashed with that. So we've been able to cap Shauna Bennett's fights rather well. I think the odds kind of indicate that it's the right side. That's why I said if you're going to play Calalari at minus 225, maybe you just want to line it up down the middle. Over 2.5 rounds for the first fight of the evening, minus 225.
All right.
Maybe I'm going to be riding a trend here to the early part of this Vegas card. Maybe it takes a little bit to get the momentum into the event. A flyweight matchup here between Daniel Barres, he's plus 150 against Luis Garul at minus 115. Wasn't Garul involved in like some sort of odds line swap where the line changed drastically?
Yeah.
Well, nevertheless, I think this one can also go to the judges. I think these guys are a little more explosive, and a finish is possible. You've seen Garul have that, but like I said, that maybe the controversy of that that odds making incident in the past, maybe there's something a little hanging over the head here. So maybe it's a little closer than anticipated. So I'm going to go over 2.5 rounds again, minus 155 in this one. I don't really have a side. And then, strawweight's 115 for the women.
I got something here.
Oh, I'm interested to hear what you got to say. You know, Alias Ardeline is the favorite here. Polyana Viana has shown bouts of being a dog and cashing as an underdog here at plus 180. Do you think she's locked?
You know, what's her name? Polyana
Viana? Yeah.
Yeah, Vienna. She could finish fights. I was watching some of her tape. She could finish fights. She has 1 knockout, 3 submissions. So she has the submission ability on her. And what's the other girl's name?
Arlise Ardeline?
Ardeline.
Yeah, I think she's Moldovan. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, I think she is actually. I just think the striking is the clear distance. Ardeline, she just outpaces her opponent. I was looking at the numbers. The volume is there. She lands 7.5 significant strikes per minute, and she only absorbs literally 3% of her opponent's strikes. So volume both ways. She's winning those exchanges, the numbers are telling me. And her opponent, on the other hand, it's just no output for her. It's only 2.74 significant strikes per minute. Very low volume. I just don't see that.
Viana's got to catch her opponent.
Yeah, Viana has to. And I don't think the ground game is where she wants to be either. Adriana, 87% control rate as well.
Yeah,
so
she's big on top.
She's a big favorite at minus 200. I think the cleaner play and for more value is Elise Alderine via decision at minus 115.
I love that. Yeah, because I'm going over. Yeah,
she has zero UFC finishes.
No, and that's the thing. She takes control strictly on the volume, and then you're going to see significant strikes outweigh her opponent here. Viana can't, like I said, catch her in the moment on the ground or maybe on the feet. This is Arlise Ardeline fight to lose. So yeah, I see it that maybe there's some controversy at the end if Viana has a moment. So that's why I'm playing it down the middle myself, over 2.5 at minus 200. Did the same thing in the previous women's fight. If you're giving me that line that chalky, I might as well cut it down the middle at the same price. So
love it.
Let's go to the middleweight matchup here. I mean, I never thought I'd live to see the day that we get these two names together. Andre Petrosky's taking on Cody Brundage in a preliminary fight. I mean, what are we doing? This is I don't know, man. I think two guys have going to probably come in and fight for a check in a sense, not in the good way. Fight to just get that paycheck and walk out the ring. We saw a little bit. The boss, Olivier Coste, had to issue a yellow card out to the heavyweight fighters, not really giving the fans what they want, not really putting the effort in to finish a fight. I think this has been, consistent with both of these fighters, the inability to get finishes themselves, and I think both of them also suffered like the rainbow, a no contest, a draw, a loss, a win in the span of 4 fights. So very interesting matchup here. And like I said, with a lack of antithesis on actually getting a win, I'm going to say over 2.5 rounds. Maybe it happens late, but most likely we'll reach the judges' scorecards here. So plus 105 for that.
Yeah, Cody Brundage is just a fade.
But I think
probably Andre Petrosky via decision.
There you go. That makes me feel okay. Taking the over. But
I think he was in, I don't know who it was. When I was at UFC Denver a few years ago, I thought it was Petrosky that he came out to Lunatic Fringe. That's you know that song?
No, what?
Lunatic Fringe. It's in
I'll say that's not no Dean Ambrose like entrance.
No, Lunatic Fringe by Tom Croceni. Great it's you gotta watch it, bro.
No, but John Moxley, him as John Moxley, he might have one of the better theme songs. Wild Thing.
It's in a movie. It's in Vision Quest. Have you seen the movie Vision Quest?
No, but I've heard about it. That's old school. That's like our parents' generation movie, right?
Yes, 1985. And Ant showed it to me. Shout out the bull. When you mess with the bull, you get the fucking horns.
He showed Starship Troopers. Yeah, dude. He showed us the
Vision Quest, and all you hear is like, and we would like it because it's wrestlers, and the boys are fucking playing Lunatic Fringe, and I'm like, you're ready to run through a fucking wall. You gotta watch it, Joe. Unreal. I'm surprised you watch all the old school.
Yeah, I need to put that on the list, man. Bantamweight matchup here. I think he's got somewhat high stakes. Caitlin Vieira, very tough schedule. Has never lost 2 consecutive fights in her career. And Jacqueline Cavalcante is favorited here. I think a sneaky place to take Vieira on the money line at plus 145. I think there's a finish that's a little bit alive with Vieira, more so than a Cavalcante. Majority of Jacqueline Cavalcante's fights, as you're going to the judges, a couple split decision gifts. I think if you look back on those fights, she didn't necessarily win, but she got the nod. And I just think, like you said, who they have fought, I'm going to go with Vieira's strength of schedule over Cavalcanti here. So give me the dog in this one. We've cashed with women underdogs before.
Yeah.
But I'll go into an exciting matchup here. Two undefeated fighters. Ukrainian Artur Minev is plus 175, taking on lightweight Tommy Gant at minus 170. And Gant's got all the wrestling experience here. He also finds a way to get submissions. I mean, he's got some ground and pound as well. And Minev has finishes on his list. I think the smart play is here, if I'm taking totals and capping fights down the middle, is to take the under here. I could see a finish. Like I said, stylistically, Gant could get that submission or Minev can catch him. We haven't seen Gant tested too much on the feet, but we haven't seen Minev tested with that high level of wrestling. So under 2.5 rounds here. Let's see a finish for these lightweights, minus 130.
I don't have anything until Chaos.
And that's next, ain't it? No, we got one more until then. So let's talk about this light heavyweight matchup. Tuco Tokos. I've cashed him as a dog in a couple times in a couple occasions. So don't sleep on Tuco Tokos, man. Ivan Arslan, I don't think is all that refined of a product here. He comes in and he I guess has some like knockout capability, but if every time I've seen him like to keep the fight standing, he's getting tagged. And Tuco Tokos, I think, has the flexibility of maybe taking him down and getting something on the mat. So Tuco Tokos to me is live here as a dog. I think he has more ways to win. Urslan's going to have to catch Tukos, which has happened before, but I'm just going to go, which in my opinion is a safer bet. I don't know how he's a dog here. If you look at the scheduling as well, Tokos has fought higher ranked fighters. Granted, he may lost a couple, but you learn more from your losses than you ever do a win. And so for that, give me Tuco Tokos plus 150.
Love it.
But here's the Chaos Williams fight, man. Am I wrong? Did he like go up in weight or was it down in weight? He tried something new recently. Didn't really work out for him. But line indicates it's very close between Varetnikov. Plus 110 for the Varetnikov route. Chaos Williams minus 110. Almost a pick 'em here. So I'll ask you your opinion on this fight. What you got?
How do you pronounce his first name? I'm going to call him by his...
I thought it was Nikolai.
Yeah.
Varetnikov.
Striking... Great striking. He does throw a little less volume, but what I think Chaos, he's had a couple fights where he's also fought guys with low volume and he still won. I think wrestling may be the difference in this fight. Chaos Williams struggles when the fight hits the floor, especially if he's underneath. And Nikita, is it Nikita?
No, Nikolai.
Nikolai, he's great. He takes people down and Russian wrestling sumo based. His striking is okay, but he has durability. And I think the over 1.5 at minus 160, both of these men desperately need a win. And I think both are on the cusp of the organization. If they lose, we could see both of them, the loser, getting kicked out. So I think both of these men are focused, they're motivated. I think they're going to take it round by round and really try to hone in on something. So I'm going to take the over 1.5 rounds at minus 160.
Interesting, because I saw it as they're getting a finish here within the second or third round. I didn't see it so happen in the first, but I took the under 2.5 just to play it safe if they did. But I could see how this could stretch a little bit. If Chaos isn't getting his way in exchanges on the feet, yeah, he does have an opportunity to knock anyone out in a moment's notice. But like I said, when he's not getting his way, the fight tends to go to his opponent. And Varetnikov, I think you've seen him kind of open up his game a little bit more. He has the willingness to go and take you down if he needs to, instead of just rely on knocking you out as well. But I'm going to say that if you said both guys need a fight, I need a finish. And so under 2.5 rounds is my actual play. Let's hope it happens in the second or the third round, because if it's early third or late second, you and I still cash.
That was the start of the main card, by the way.
Yeah, thank you for that. Minus 105 for me. What was yours? Over 1.5?
Minus 160.
Okay, all right. Hey,
all right.
This does seem to be a little more favored, but bantamweight matchup here, I think is a sleeper for a fight of the night. Honestly, I think Tumi Kambwa comes in with a lot of volume. Bernardo Solpaj is an exciting fighter, but if you want me to lean one way, I'm actually thinking Tumi Kambwa can strike Solpaj here. I think without the knockout on the table, I think that Solpaj maybe has less ways to win. So he's minus 130 favorite, which I was surprised. I thought Kambwa was getting the odds here, but let's see if any late whales come in and put some money on Tumi Kambwa. I see some value in the dog, plus 130. But let's go into the light heavyweight matchup next. Modestas Bukauskas is minus 300, taking on Christian Edwards at plus 280. Who? I really don't remember Christian Edwards at all, man. I want to cap this fight as a Bukakis KO TKO here at plus 180. I see him actually opening up his striking and getting the knockout, which he didn't get in his last fight, because I'm pretty sure we took it and it didn't hit. So I think, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. If I don't learn after this one, then I don't know when I will. So give me Bukakis via KO TKO at plus 180. And I think I see the same in the next one here. The featured bout, Malcolm Wellmaker's taking on Juan Diaz. Who? Again, seriously, I don't remember.
Peruvians.
But hey, I to not touch the Luis Ochoa fight, and you should have taken Clayton Carpenter now. So, exactly. I'm going to say Malcolm Wellmaker via KO TKO plus 145.
First round?
No, just KO TKO is plus 145 for Wellmaker. I think this is, like I said, unfortunately for maybe a lot of names you're seeing on the MVP card, these matchups can favor them. I obviously see that for Wellmaker here. He's going to get back with a knockout, plus 145.
The Korean Superboy.
It's your boy, man, and already a Hall of Famer, mind you. Got a Hall of Fame fight with Killer Cub Swanson now. So featherweight, I think he's a legend in my eyes because I'll never forget that fight. I was with the Bull. I was with our boy Ant Torres in there watching that fight. And, man, we were just bouncing off the walls, watching him go back and forth. And he still has that capability. I don't know if you remember Doo Ho Choi's last performance. He looked fantastic out there.
Yeah, he knocked him out.
Daniel Santos is going to be in there to fight. So I think this is a great matchup for Doo Ho Choi here. Doo Ho Choi, I'm taking here on the money line at plus 155, though I think the knockout's live. Daniel Santos really can't. He's been a hard guy to finish. So Brazilians could be live, but they haven't, they haven't been profitable in 2026 besides Paulo Costa. So
Paul Costa's live.
Yeah, so Doo Ho Choi is my selection.
When you were saying he loves to fight, you know who I was thinking of?
Finlay.
My name is Finlay, and I love to fight. Doo Ho Choi, he does hold a 3-inch reach advantage, around 70 inches as well. I think the striking is the advantage by a little. He lands about 5 significant strikes per minute, while Santos is like 4.5. So number-wise, he does have the striking advantage, and Santos absorbs more than he's giving back. That's also negative on his part. So I do think the striking does go to Doo Ho Choi. Where Santos has a case, though, I think, in this fight, when I think why he is the favorite, his ground game is great. 84% control rate, the clinch game, the ground exchanges. He scored 12 takedowns. That's 4.5 per minute or per 5 minutes per round. And Chu's ground game, it's quiet, 52% control rate. He's less active takedown profile, obviously, as Santos. I just think Doo Ho Choi, I'm going to give him the lean here. I got to go with the dog. I think he is the better fighter. And if he could keep this fight off the mat and just standing up, I think he's eventually going to take him or knock him out. So I'll take Doo Ho Choi here. You get him at plus. I got him at plus 145. He's plus 150. So shop around. But yeah, I'll take the dog here as well. I agree.
I can see also the comfortability or familiarity for Santos having fought already 2 consecutive South Koreans, and this would be his 3rd. If he can get a win as well, that'd be 3 in a row. But I look back.
He owns South Korea then.
I mean, I would look back to the Hurley Arce fight. Jung Young Lee and Jo Sang Yo, jiu-jitsu, they are more of a grappler guys. So I think you're going with more of a style like a Julio Arce when you see Santos suffer his last loss, and I think Doo Ho Choi has the style to match that, and maybe with the power advantage also catch him. So like I said, I think the knockout's live. We are on the same side. Doo Ho Choi, the Korean superstar. Let's get it done. Do it right. Let's make up for your boys who lost. Now we've made it to the main event here, and man, I like this matchup a lot. I did mention the Kwamba and Solpaj fight could be, but this is my second in for fight of the night. Arnold Allen brings it every single time he's out there, and Mel Costa has proven to be, cashing at these dog prices because, he's a highlight reel himself, to be completely honest. So with it being the main event at featherweight, minus 120 the Allen side, plus 140 the Costa side. D-Rock, give us your opinions. Who do you got?
Yeah, obviously Arnold Allen here being a striker, he's great. He keeps the distance. He's in and out. He has the numbers. And Costa, I think he's more of a balanced fighter. 50% of the time he's at distance. He comes in. He does absorb a little less than Arnold Allen. Allen likes to stay in the pocket and really trade, which kind of worries me here if you do like the Arnold Allen size. he's durable as fuck, though. This guy across the pond, I don't know
almighty.
where he is, but Almighty Allen is fucking tough. I do think he has the edge in durability. He's never been finished his entire career, and he's fought Max fucking Holloway. So, like, he's fought the who's who. Costa has been knocked down once. Both are tough fighters. I think the grappling also is relatively even. Both men, they've scored 11 takedowns in their career. Arnold Allen has a 72% takedown effectiveness, while Costa's around 59. Costa does attempt a little more, and he's a little more aggressive on the ground than Arnold Allen. But I just think the output, and I think standing in the pocket and the striking, I think I'm going to go Melky Costa here as a dog. I think in a coin flip fight, the dog is where it's at, and I like the over. I like the over 2.5 rounds. You could get that at, it's minus 300. Honestly, even the over 4.5 rounds. I
don't see a finish from either guy happening. It's minus 300 over.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's insane. Yeah, because I'm looking at it right now. Even the over 4.5, I think it's going to go.
Mel get finishes, and Arnold Allen. I think maybe that's the side you're seeing. Maybe more of it get to the judges.
I just think he's gonna stay in the pocket. And I think Melky's just riding this high right now, and I think he's eventually gonna edge him out. So I'm gonna take Melky here as a dog.
That's funny. That was my pick, and I see Ipswich was where he was born. Arnold Allen.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Kind of
bad soccer team, but
raised out of Suffolk and fighting out of Suffolk. Trimley St. Martin, but also say maybe Felix Stowe, but nevertheless, Big Stowe. We all love Arnold Allen. Like, let's not, deny the fact that he's a favorite. He's a fighter's fighter, right? He's a guy who goes in there and he isn't afraid to put a show on for the fans. And I think that's what you're going to get. But Mel Costa is just as willing to grant that wish. And I like you said, just the momentum is riding way too high for Mel Costa, where the Arnold Allen side is not. I mean, this would be an absolute great get back fight for him in his career. Arnold Allen in the spot. But if this was maybe overseas, if it was maybe in his neck of the woods, I would have favored a little bit more. I think there's more travel coming out of his side, even if he's training out of TriStar sometimes. Mel Costa is AT&T right now. So he's right there in Florida. Take the quick trip out west, not as far in miles to travel. And I think that does always have a factor here. These guys are professionals, but at the end of the day, rounds of sparring and training add up, and then the travel and commuting and a weight cut as well. I'm seeing that Mel Costa has, with his youthful age, is not, 32 is not too old for Arnold Allen, but Mel Costa at 25 right now, kind of just entering his prime. I got to go with him as a dog as well. So yeah, I got Mel Costa plus 140 here. Right. If it hits the mat, though, I think Arnold Allen has enough to kind of show you something. So don't be surprised if there's something on the mat from Arnold Allen, and then the same can be said for Mel Costa on the feet. I think you've seen it with the spinning knockout and with him being able to knock people up with the overhand right. Mel Costa has it everywhere you go. He is an even fighter with more ways to win in a sense. So I like him. I like the value you're getting at dog price.
Yeah, I love it. All right, let's shout out Melky. Hopefully he cashes for us.
Sir.
Plus 140. Kid, good luck. Remember, 5 p.m. here on the East Coast for the prelims, 8 p.m. for the main card, and we will head on over to the Intuit Dome. But before we do that, quick word from Kalshi, real money predicting sports. Kalshi is available in a ton of states, and once you trade $10, you get $10 with the promo code ROCK24 with 2 Ks. That's Kalshi, promo code ROCK24. Kid, let's get on over to the Intuit Dome for the MVP Mania weekend. Headline by Ronda Rousey taking on Gina Carano. What, 20 years in the making?
Carano.
What did I say?
Cardano.
No, I definitely didn't say Cardano.
Gina Carano, yes.
Carano. Yeah. Yeah, and then Chief supporters Mike Perry, Nathan Diaz, Francis Ngannou, Philip Lenz. There's some good fights, obviously. The Jason Jackson one and Jeff Creighton, that's at welterweight as well.
I can rattle through it if you want.
Sure, you're just going to take it away. Take it.
Okay, hey. I was going to say, because I bet you might not be starting with the first fight of the evening. Chris Avila and Brandon Jenkins.
No, you got it. Go for it.
So I see, the catchweight fight here, 165. Very interesting why they're doing that. Chris Avila is plus 275 here, and Brandon Jenkins is minus 275. So I guess you may have to go and take the odds a certain way, but I like the human highlight reel Jenkins. I like, he's fought in the UFC, he's fought Bellator, he's fought all over the world. So, and Chris Avila is the same, but if you look at that record, it kind of can say something. Chris Avila has actually shown to have, a better boxing career, a better boxing record than in the mixed martial arts world. So give me Brandon Jenkins here. I think I'm going to pick a side and I'm going to go with him. Did you see any of the other fights? Like, Eileen Pereira and Jade Masan Wong?
No, you got it. Go for it.
Yeah, I mean, Jade Masan Wong, you recognize her, right?
No, I don't.
Oh my God, BKFC. She was a champ. She fought Christine Ferreira most recently. I was like, maybe that's where you recognize her from. But Eileen Pereira is not Alice Pereira. Everyone thought Alice Pereira was Alice Pereira's sister, but it's Eileen Pereira. So I see that she's going to have the power advantage here. Though Jade Masan Wong has fought bare knuckle, and that pain threshold is different than any other sport. There's no pain threshold when you're just getting separated from your consciousness. So Eileen Pereira, Alex Pereira, I mean, they're special when it comes to the power, and I think she gets it done. So yeah, give me Eileen Pereira there. David Moygan, I think, is rightful side here against Albert Morales. Albert Morales has had a long career, but you got to take David Moygan here. I think he's probably going to dominate. Same can be said probably for ass kicking machine Jason Jackson, right? Jeff Creighton, I think only 2 losses career, but the styles, I think as much as Jeff Creighton can, Jazzy Jeff could wrestle, Jason Jackson can do the same, and then he could strike with the best of them, as we saw with the Amosal fight. Styles make fights, and makes me think the ass kicking machine is going to get the victory there. But it's surprising. I'm probably going to throw you a little curveball here. They had to do a catchweight bout at 130 pounds for Adriano Moraes after losing Makayev. But now the odds flip, and he's plus 170 against Fumi Nukta at minus 195. And, Fumi Nukta is an undefeated absolute star fighter. And I'm actually going to be taking him here because the aging Adriano Moraes just doesn't really do it for me. I was actually going to probably favor Makayev. And I know it's short notice for Nakuda, but let's go with the undefeated guy in that one. And a lot of, I don't know, like you said, you saw the presser, a lot of back and forth between these two guys. And honestly, this might be my one bet where I'm kind of betting with my heart here. Namo Fazil, one loss in his record, just like Jake Babian, but the level of competition, Fazil has fought more around the world. And I can understand why he's getting minus 300 here, but I just didn't like what he had to say coming at Nate Diaz, coming at Mike Perry, coming at Jake Babian himself. I actually going to go with the underdog, Jake Baby, and I won on the silence, Namo Fazil. So let's go plus 280 dog hunting and see if we can get the upset win there. But now I see the main card, right? Is the Junior Dos Santos fight, Robelis de Spain, the start of the main card, right? So I know a lot of people seeing value with JDS, man. MMA, Robelis de Spain hasn't done the best there. Seemingly game plan taken down, and that's pretty much all she wrote. But it's about getting there, and at the age that he is, the chin, I think Robelis de Spain is going to catch JDS. I think Junior Dos Santos is going to knock down the first round. So give me the big boy, Robelis de Spain, first round KO TKO at plus 100. I mean, if I was ever seen chalk line, that's it. But it's the only way to bet him, right? So, kind of interesting here. KSW taking place this weekend, and we got you covered at the end. But Saladin Parnass, who is a champion for them, is fighting on this card, taking on the boss, Kenneth Cross. They're counting out the boss here. Give me the underdog. I'm going to take the boss Cross plus 900. Saladin Parnass is, I think, levels above him, but there's something about Kenneth Cross, man. He's got that dog in him, and maybe, like I said, maybe there's something that gets caught. Maybe Parnass can't handle something. Maybe he gets hurt. Maybe there's a doctor stoppage. I think we're getting cash with one of these dogs here at this big price. So let me get it at Kenneth Cross plus 900, the boss. And then we go into the featured bout here. It's really like a third of a main event, don't you think? Right? So the heavyweight match of Francis Ngannou here, like you said, minus 1,400. Earlier in the week, I saw some line getting at minus 775. You will not find it anymore. Right, like minimum like 1,200, right? Is like the lowest I've seen. And Felipe Lin's, plus 900. I don't know if he can even get it to the mat and have advantage here. I think you've seen Ngannou what he did to Renan Ferreira, that he can find this floor, find this fight to the floor and dominate there. So Ngannou's gonna have the power advantage. He might have the grappling advantage, the strength, the size advantage. He's weighing about 40 pounds heavier. I see Francis Ngannou getting this done inside the distance, but even that's chalk. So my bet was Ngannou inside the distance. I saw it at minus 660 on some books. I mean, there might not be a way to kind of bet any of these in the main event straight if you're taking favorites. So you maybe have to parlay them or not. Not that I'm saying to do so, but my play is the Ngannou inside the distance. But like I said, it's just so chalky.
Yeah,
Do you have anything on that?
Yeah, just the over 1.5 rounds. And you could get that at plus 200. I do think Philip Lins is going to, walk around and try to feel out Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou's had some ring rust as well. He'll feel out the first round and then maybe step it up a little bit. So yeah, over 1.5 rounds at plus 200.
Wow. Yeah. What would be like fight to start round 2? Like how would that cash? Maybe a
fight to start round 2 plus 120.
Yeah, wow, pretty interesting. If you're going against my bet with the first round KT go to Spain, that could actually be a smart bet if you get out of the first round, right? That's another one there. So certain ways to kind of, cap these big favorites. Now we go to what would be the co-main event, but is, like I said, a second of the triple header main event. You got Nathan Diaz plus 165 taking on Platinum Mike Perry at minus 175. D-Rock, I'll let you take this one away. What's your opinions on this fight of the night? Yo, you're muted.
That's unfortunate. I was going into it.
Right up into it.
I do like Mike Perry here. I like the fight to go the distance, though, at plus 120. I don't think he gets the knockout. I know he has a lot of scar tissue, Nate, but eventually I just think he's tough enough, and I do think he's skilled on the ground as well to get the fight on the floor if need be. So I do think Mike Perry wins, but I think he wins by decision. You get that at plus 250.
Yeah, I have Mike Perry by decision here because the only concern, like you said, is the scar tissue for Nate Diaz going to amount to it? But it's not bare knuckle. If it was bare knuckle or something, you can see Mike Perry absolutely winning that one hands down, and I think the line would be swayed even more. But we see Mike Perry still competing at the highest level of combat sports. Nate Diaz, as much as we love him, his antics of not taking things seriously and not giving an F, I think that's indicative of maybe what's behind the scenes, right? Not to say he's not training. I mean, all that, but it's just to the level of what you're not competing for, the championships that Mike Perry is currently, or the King of Violence, or any of that at the moment. We're somewhat semi-retired, are we not? And we're saying we're still in the fight game, but Mike Perry's still actually in there competing. So I think you just got to go based on activity, based off where they're at in their careers. Their age has a lot to do with it. You got to go Mike Perry. But I also see it that way, that Nate Diaz is tough enough to get to the judges' scorecards. Mike Perry review decision is plus 250, and you and I see it alike. So, and the conclusion of MVP MMA 1 here on Netflix, we're going to have the women's featherweight main event, the one to the triple header here. It's Ronda Rousey, minus 560. I'm seeing taking on Gina Carano at plus 500. I see Ronda Rousey side being the right side. I love Gina Carano. I do think she'll have better technical striking, but when it comes down to just ferociousness, being all the supplementation and just everything that you need, Ronda Rousey's got it. The judo background, I feel like she's going to be able to, like I said, I thought I seen Ronda Rousey hip tossing her and getting an arm somehow in a previous fight. I must have had some premonition here because that's exactly what I see is going to happen against Gina Carano. So Ronda Rousey, if maybe it gets there, we've seen with that Alexis, I forgot, Thompson fight, whatever, back in the day, and she just like pounded her unconscious with it. I think that could be live too, a ground and pound TKO finish. So I went Rousey inside the distance and didn't look at the lines until late. Minus 450 is what you're getting that at. Too chalky inside the distances for that Francis Ngannou and Ronda Rousey pick. So like I said, it's up to you guys and if you want to parlay it, but I'm just giving you my side.
I'm going to go fight to start round 2 at plus 105. I mean, both of these fighters are coming off years and years off. They are not going to go right at it the first few minutes. I think 3-4 minutes in, then they're going to start. I think Gina Carano can last the first round. All she has to do is get into round 2. I do think there's going to be some back and forth exchanges. I agree. I do think Ronda Rousey is the right side. How she gets it, I see a later finish, if anything. I'm gonna put a little on fight to start round 3 at plus 250 as well.
That's crazy. They really expect her to just like bull rush Gina?
Yeah, Gina. And I just don't think that's the way it's gonna happen. I do think Ronda's gonna be a lot more technical and tactical on her approach, the way she gets in on her. So I don't know. I think it lasts a lot longer. I don't think it lasts I don't think it ends in the first round. I think that's ridiculous. Both of these fighters off the long layoff. I just don't see that happening. If it does, tip your cap to because it probably will be Ronda if she does finish it early.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna official plays fight start round 2. I do like to fight to start round 3 at plus 200 as well.
I like the way you cap these fights. I think they're all very sharp, and we're getting some plus money on what your picks are. So, hey, let's hope for some success from MVP MMA. Let's hope that maybe they got a long-standing relationship with Netflix, or maybe they can go elsewhere and get some sort of deal. Because, like you said, more promotions is always good for all these fighters.
All right, let's wrap through some news. Khamzat Chimaev will take on Dylan Dennis in the main event for Real American Freestyle 10 June 13th.
Oh my God, tech in order. I mean, you getting tech by Colby Covington, bro. Khamzat Chimaev.
He's gonna tech you too.
Yeah,
but he's a name. He's getting paid. So
why not? Why not do it?
I would do it.
Yeah,
we have a vacant PFL welterweight title on the line for PFL DC July 25th, excuse me. Thad Jean 11-0 taking on Shamil Musayev 20-1. Great fight at welterweight.
That's after Ramazan retired, right, and vacated the belt, right, and he got his revenge against Musayev, right? That's what happened there, I think. So, I think Shamil Musayev, I don't know, man. He's very skilled. We love Thad Jean, and he's got all the potential in the world, but Shamil Musayev is very scary.
I don't think there are lines here. No.
If they were to come out, I would say a $2 favorite, $2 dog. Thad Jean, $2 dog.
When is it? No, not yet. It's not up yet. We'll get lines eventually soon. Future champ from Fatima Klein. She will take on Amanda Hebos, UFC Oklahoma City, July 18th on my birthday.
Yo, shout out the matchmakers. You're gonna go see that?
No, I'm gonna be in Victoria, British Columbia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I like that. That's a fun matchup, actually. I was gonna say you gotta go see that on your birthday, but
nope. Sister's getting married.
Tim McCline, future champ.
Some boxing news: Vasily Lomachenko coming out of retirement, and he wants to fight in the fall. His contract with Top Rank, it did expire during the week, and he's a free agent. He's looking to get back in. He wants a tune-up fight, and then he just wants a really big fight, apparently. So who do you see for Lomachenko?
Give it to him. Where he's competing in like Ryan Garcia's weight class.
Yeah, give him Ryan.
Are they going to do that? He signed with Zuffa, didn't he?
Yeah.
Vasily Lomachenko? Vasily.
No, he's a free. I just said he's a free agent.
Oh. Duh. Watch him sign with Zuffa, and then they're not getting these fights. So that's the thing. It was like, okay, we're going to be able to make these fights, but if the other promotions have these fighters signed, they're not going to do it. They're not going to make those matchups. So, I guess it's good for the lower rank guys, maybe in the Zuffa in a sense. But then we see that, the argument for the mixed martial arts lower guys, they're not getting paid enough like boxing lower guys, right? So, I mean, it's mixed signals across the whole board.
All right. Why don't you end it tomorrow afternoon in Poland, KSW 118?
Yeah, it's for the interim middleweight championship. You got Peter Kuberski. He's minus 400. He's taking on Michael Makowski at plus 280. I mean, Kuberski hasn't lost in, I think, over 10 fights. He's on a 7-fight finish streak here. I think he keeps it going. Give me Kuber via KO TKO. That's the way to squeeze those odds down in Poland.
I love it. Tomorrow afternoon, right before MVP card, right before, probably while going on UFC Vegas 117. So, Joe, good luck this weekend. We'll do it again next Friday. But until then, take care of yourself and each other. Peace.